There will be a wave of foreclosures thanks to the forbearance program. Or will there be? This is Beth Helvey with Control Real Estate. I hope you're doing well today. So back during the beginning of the pandemic, the government instituted this forbearance program. And what it did is it allowed homeowners to essentially put off paying their mortgage for a time while we kind of waited to see what happened. I mean, it was unprecedented circumstances. So they were afraid that there would be job losses, and that's why this was put in place. Now, 5 million homeowners took advantage of this program, and they put their properties into forbearance. They didn't pay their mortgage. A lot of them paid their mortgage through that program while it was still going on. Some took their mortgage payments and tucked it aside in a savings account just in case. Now that the forbearance program is over, it is now known that 4 out of 5 people who took a forbearance are fine. They came out of the program. Some of them took a modification, some of them paid it off, some of them had been paying it all along, and some took a deferral. So 1 out of 5 people that took a forbearance are still working out what they're gonna do. Now, there isn't going to be a wave of foreclosures because of this, because not that many people got into trouble with the forbearance program. Foreclosures are rising slightly. Now that we're getting more properties on the market and the market has changed a little bit, is going back to a more normal market, we are seeing more foreclosures, but we're not seeing anything near what we saw during the crash. Now, don't forget what happened during the bubble that everybody's afraid is going to happen again back in 2008, 2009. There were lending practices that allowed people to get a loan that didn't necessarily have the money to get that loan. So the lending practices were out of control. And a lot of people became upside down, which means that they owed more money than their property was worth. And then when the housing market started to fall apart because of these lending practices, people started losing money, and unfortunately people lost their homes. We're not going to see that this time. Part of the reason is that the prices that are going on right now are due to supply and demand. And once the market levels out, are we going to see some price changes? Yeah, probably. We're already seeing it now, especially in Southwest Florida. We're already seeing prices that are starting to come down, and we're seeing price reductions. And we're going to see, I don't know, maybe a 10% decrease, maybe a little bit more. But then as we go into the normal year over year increase in prices that we historically see, we'll get back to where we were, earlier this year. It'll take a few years, but we'll get back to there. But we're not going to see a crash. Now, that 1 out of 5 person who did the forbearance, they may not necessarily foreclose because of the equity run up, the prices that went up in the last year and a half to 2 years. They now probably have enough equity in their house that if they choose to not modify, or they can't modify or something like that, they can sell their house and have a little bit of money in their pocket without going into short sale or foreclosure. So we're seeing a lot of things going on right now that will be keeping people out of foreclosure. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who did the forbearance who may get a foreclosure. They just aren't going to be able to sell the house. They don't have enough equity or something. That is a possibility. It's not going to be like it was though. So if you're waiting for foreclosures or for the market to crash in order to buy a house, you might be waiting a while, because of all those forbearance people, hardly any of them are going to have a foreclosure. And the ones that do are certainly not going to take us out of the inventory shortage we have now. So this was a game changer for a lot of people. It kept a lot of people in their homes, and that is what we wanted. So this is Beth Helvey with Control Real Estate. I hope you're doing well today. If you have the opportunity to get outside, I encourage you to do so. Wear your sunscreen, drink a lot of water, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.